Cameron Wolfe, NFL Network, Good Morning Football, talking about a team he thinks could be the surprise team in the NFL.
It's got to start with the quarterback, Deshaun Watson. He needs to be the superstar quarterback they traded for him to be. And you could just remind people of what they paid him after they made that trade. You got a situation where you're paying a quarterback like Deshaun Watson the most guaranteed money that any player has ever received, and you need that type of value. And we need to see the version of Deshaun where he was in Houston, where he's putting up crazy numbers, third in completion percentage, first in passing yards, first in yards per attempt. He was one of the best 3 to 5 quarterbacks in football. And last year, whether it was the rust, whether it was suspension, we didn't get that version of him early. And we know the Browns have Nick Chubb. We know they have a solid defense, particularly on the passing side of the ball. They need that quarterback to step up. And Sarah, you're the resident soccer expert here on the stage. I look at the AFC North as the group of death. World Cup time, we always talk about the group of death, where there's 4 teams and you're like, somebody's going to go home sorry. Maybe 2 teams going home sorry. How can the Browns be the surprise team? They got to make sure that Deshaun is better than one of those other quarterbacks in the group of death teams, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Steelers. It's a tough challenge. Can you be better than Joe Burrow? Can you be better than Lamar Jackson? The Browns need it out of Deshaun.
And G. Bush, I continue to push back on that. If he is a top 3, top 5 quarterback, they're Super Bowl contenders. If he is an above average, if he is a good NFL quarterback, they're a playoff team. They just are.
Yeah, it's, I once again, I've never seen 6 games. And let's be clear, a lot of what we talked about the last segment plays into their evaluations moving forward. I've never seen a guy play 6 games, and those 6 games have been so inflated to a point that those 6 games almost dwarf any of the stuff that he's ever put in the work he's put in, the stats, the numbers, all those 6 games, the emphasis that they had put on him have almost trumped his whole career. And if you're Deshaun Watson, you're thinking, I have over 115 touchdown passes and only 40 some odd interceptions. I'm breaking records for completion percentage. I've always been accurate. And you're telling me, I'm turning on the TV every single day, and you're telling me that I can't get back to the point I was at before. Not only you're not saying that, but you're saying that for us to even be contenders, I got to play like a Super Bowl MVP in the regular season. It's crazy. It's just not. It's not factual. And there's a lot of guys who get way like. If I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say for a whole year the reason we gave Baker a rebuttal was because he was hurt. I heard people jumping off the mountaintop saying he was hurt though. He was hurt though. He was hurt though. All right, cool. I heard a mountain of excuses when Odell was here. It's the receivers. The receivers not doing a good job. They cut it out short. It is what it is. Then the year before that was the coach. Freddie Kitchens was one of the worst coaches of all time. Not saying he's not, but that Freddie Kitchens, back before that was Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson was like, well, we're not going to pay you. And they're going to start Tyrod Taylor. Congratulations will be in the second team quarterback. Kudos to you. Now, we gave Baker 4 years to figure it out. We gave Deshaun Watson 6 games with no recognition with his receivers, couldn't step in a foot in the facility to look at a playbook, couldn't go to his coach and be like, on this X-Jet 65 laser, what am I supposed to do? Where do you want to go to the progression from? You want to look backside immediately because front side is 3-3 or 3x3. All these little different nuances that quarterbacks do. Controlling the line of scrimmage, calling the audibles, making sure that you hit the right guy on it, and you're seeing the same coverage as your receiver, as you're seeing, and throw into a spot. All those things take time, not to mention the fact that he sat out after last year, the whole year before that. And they're just now being like, oh, well, maybe if he, defense plays good. No, y'all going to figure out next year. And I told people, just don't be on my timeline because I'm going to be extra petty. I'm gonna be reminding a lot of people.
I'm with you. And the other thing is, first year in a new system, and he couldn't. Everybody else had played 11 weeks, and he couldn't play for 11. So, yeah, I'm with you. I agree wholeheartedly.